Hi, Sebastian.
Hey, Alessandro. Great to see you.
Great to see you. How are you?
Yeah, fine, thanks. What's up?
I'm responsible for testing and validation at Sono Motors. And as it's been a while since you last been to Bertrand, I wanted to invite you over once again to just show you where we are at the moment, what is going on, what we're working on. And I wanted to ask if you have time tomorrow.
Yeah, I can be there. You're right. It's been quite some time, and I got a lot of questions from the community, especially after the Celebrate the Sun event.
Yeah,
So, yeah, hope to see you tomorrow.
perfect.
Thanks.
Okay, then see you tomorrow, Sebastian. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hi, welcome back. We're back at Bertrand and currently it's super busy over here. There are 7 vehicles currently being built in parallel and I'm very happy that we have an expert here, Alessandro,
Hi,
who
Sebastian.
is taking care about testing. So today we're learning a lot about testing and the vehicles.
Yes.
So my first question to you,
Yes.
what do you do at Sono?
Well, I'm responsible for testing and validation as technical lead. I joined Sono in January this year, and I have now a 10-year history in complete vehicle testing in the automotive industry.
Great. Yeah, great to have you on the team. Welcome.
Thank you.
And can you tell us a little bit about the vehicles that we see here?
Yes, of course. So what we see here is basically the first stage. This is how the vehicles get delivered from ThyssenKrupp. This is a body in white, and I think this will become a bug. This will not become a full vehicle. A bug is a partially assembly. And I think when I look at the numbers, this would be for NVH, acoustic and vibrations.
Ah, great. Yeah, I can see that there are little numbers already etched in here.
Yes.
So I think, yeah, there are about, like, we see several numbers here later
Yes.
on.
Yes, and every number has a purpose.
Okay. And yeah, so we can ask you maybe about the other one. And all are,
Yes.
of course, used for testing. So what
Yes.
will you do with these vehicles?
Well, the majority of the cars goes to crash and safety. As you can imagine, it's hard to reuse the vehicles, and we need to ensure that the vehicles are safe. We will have chassis performance tests, chassis tuning, brake calibration, steering calibration. Of course, we will have powertrain, range and performance, closely working together with aerodynamics. And of course, we will do a lot of solar tests as well, as you can imagine.
Many people are waiting for the solar tests and for the results. So is it possible that we go to a vehicle that is being more complete than this one?
Of course, of course. Let's just walk over.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Okay, Sebastian, now let's have a look at the end of our assembly line.
Yeah, this looks much better now, and we can
Yes.
also see the trunk and everything. So this is really nice.
Yes.
So what are the next steps? When will you start like working and testing on
Yeah.
these vehicles?
But this will take a little bit longer. So after we finish building the vehicles, we start with the so-called commissioning phase, where we ensure that, or we transform the non-functional assembly into a fully functional series validation vehicle. This is coordinated by Viviane and Alex, and I think they will give you a deeper insight into that phase later on. After that, we have 2 gateways. The first one is a quality audit, where we ensure that basic functions work. This is performed at the standing vehicle. Yeah? We will go through a checklist and see, okay, do the windows open and close? Yeah? Do the blinkers turn on and off and so on. And after that, the third and last gateway is the so-called dynamic commissioning. And this is where my team comes into play. We will take the vehicle out on a proving ground here in the Munich area and perform different maneuvers like slalom, emergency braking, accelerations to ensure that the vehicle is safe to use. And after that, we hand the vehicle over to the owner of the car. In that case, it's the E/E squad to start their testing.
Okay, so when you are finished with your tests, the vehicle is safe to drive for the engineers?
It's fully functional, it's safe, and we can allow people to work on those cars.
Yeah, because many people in the community also want to know when they can actually try out the vehicle.
Yes.
That will be super interesting.
For sure.
Yeah, so what is the most interesting part for you when you do the testing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me as a complete vehicle engineer, this whole phase is super exciting. Yeah? It's the first time when we actually get our hands on hardware. Yeah? We will get to know the vehicle better, how it performs. We will understand if our results that came from simulations are accurate or not. And of course, we will face challenges, which is normal in every vehicle development project. And I think this, for me, is also very exciting. This work together with the squads and the teams to find solutions to those issues that we have, and then to continuously witness the improvement of the car, I think is very satisfying.
Is there still time to put the learnings and the results that you generate into the next validation vehicle generations?
It really depends. Yeah, it's hard to generalize. As you can imagine, every problem, every issue that we find has its own implementation timeline. So it really depends on the complexity of the issue and on the complexity of the solution. Yeah.
There's one question from the community that is regarding the solar yield. So will you also do like solar testing, solar energy generation testing?
Yes, for sure.
This is also.
Solar is one of our unique selling points. So of course we're doing solar testing.
Yeah, I just have to deliver the message that people want to see a test throughout the day for the solar generation. So that would be really a great test to see. Yeah.
I wanted to invite you anyway. For sure later, after all the vehicles are built and commissioned, I think there are plenty of tests for you to witness. Yeah, you can come to an aerodynamic wind tunnel if you want to. You can come to a powertrain rig. You can come on a proving ground to do all different kind of tests. Before that, if you want, and if you have time in the summer, you can come to one of our first dynamic commissionings. I would invite you to be our passenger for some slalom.
Looking for crash test dummies, right?
No, not at this point. So if you have time, I would just let you know when we have scheduled everything, and would be great.
Sounds good. I'm ready. You do this for 10 years, so still alive, so I consider it safe. Thank you so much. I have to head over to Vivian now to see what the commissioning is. And thank you.
You're welcome.
And thanks for watching. And we see each other in part 2 of the video, commissioning.